Hi, welcome to the Yarn and Yarns YouTube channel. My name is Angela. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Rainbow Ange, and you can find an Instagram account and a Facebook page for my business. I run a small yarn shop. We are called Yarn and Yarns, the same name as the channel. We're based in Penarth, which is in South Wales in the UK, just outside of Cardiff. Thank you for coming by to the channel today. Usually you'll find me chatting about my adventures in knitting and crochet and spinning and running this delightful shop that is mine. But today this video is going to be probably a fairly short one and something a little bit different. I'm going to do a book review. I have done a couple of book reviews in the past, not as often as I had hoped, but we've had a few new publications come into the shop over the last couple of weeks, so I've been inspired again to perhaps make a few book review videos, and hopefully I'll be able to squeeze in more than one, and they'll just pop up on the channel as and when I have time to get them edited and published. So yeah, if you're here for the usual chatter like works in progress, then that will be coming up in another video, but if you're happy to sit and listen to me waffle on about books for a little while, then by all means you are welcome, and I am very grateful for your company. So today I would like to talk to you about this gorgeous publication, Knits About Winter by Emily Foden. This is a publication from Pom Pom Press. Pom Pom are most well known for their quarterly magazines, the new issue of which looks like this, and hopefully I'll get round to making a video about this one also. Every now and then Pom Pom bring out a special publication, and this is the latest. So Emily Foden has designed all of the projects in this book and also done all of the photography, and I think most of the photography has happened in and around her home. She lives in Canada, and aside from the beautiful projects that are in this book, the photography is absolutely stunning. The book is on the slightly pricier side. The recommended retail is £21.50. It is a softback book, but there are many patterns in here, and as I say, it's a gorgeous coffee table book, and I think all bar one or two, all of the projects in here I would happily knit. The book is split into different sections, so there is a introduction section at the front. If I just show you, there's some gorgeous little details in this book. So you've got sort of like a faux dust jacket, and then there's a lovely sort of parchment insert page at the front. I'm doing a very good job of holding this up, and then obviously it goes into the book proper. So the first section is a little bit of an introduction to Emily, her yarn business. She has a yarn line called Viola Yarns, which you may have heard of. It's pretty difficult, I think, to get hold of over here. I know they have sold it in Loop, they may still do. She dyes all of her yarn and everything, so yeah, it's a little bit on the pricier side for a lot of people, but that's completely understandable given all of the time and effort that goes into the yarns. But the start of the book is talking about where she lives and her yarn dyeing company, and again accompanied by absolutely stunning photography throughout. It looks like she lives in what was an old general store, and yeah, as I say, the photography is just absolutely beautiful throughout the book. Obviously the main bulk of the book are the patterns, and Emily lets us know that she has taken a lot of inspiration from elements in the winter landscape. I do apologise if there are any strange cuts and angle changes. I'm recording in the shop, so there is a chance, as just happened, that I will get some customer interruptions. I think I'd finished talking about Emily Foden and the introduction of the book, and then it's on to the patterns, and the patterns are absolutely beautiful. They're all fairly simple designs, but that's one of the things I love. I love knitting all sorts of things. If you have followed me here on the channel, you'll have seen colourwork projects, cable projects, plenty of simple socks, shawls, all sorts. And as much as I like knitting the complex things, I find personally I often wear things that are fairly plain, and a lot of the projects in here have got a real sort of simple, elegant beauty, I think. So the pattern section starts off with a lovely jacket called East Wind, and actually I should say Emily does explain in her introduction that she lives in a very cold climate, and she likes to wear a lot of loose fitting garments, so if oversized is with lots of positive ease is not really your style, then this may not be the book for you. But she explains that she likes to wear lots of layers that can trap air and keep you nice and warm. So as you can see from this picture, the East Wind jacket has a lot of positive ease, but it is a beautiful garment with some cables and some texture. I'll show you another picture without trying to give away any pattern details there. So yeah, a really beautiful long line cabley jacket that you could just see would work really nicely as an outer layer. It's knit in double knit yarn held together with mohair, which is a bit of a trend through the book, but I think that the fact that it's in double knit means that it's easily substitutable. As I say, Viola yarns aren't the easiest to get hold of here in the UK, but a good double knit you can find from lots of different lovely producers that we have here in the UK and of course all around the world. And mohair is very on trend at the moment, so yeah, that's everywhere. So if you like your indie dyed yarns, there are plenty of indie dyers out there who are producing beautiful colours in mohair. We also have the good old staple favourite here in the UK, Rowan Kid Silk Haze, and I have that in the shop. So any projects in here that I fancied knitting that needed a bit of mohair, I would probably substitute in the Kid Silk Haze because I have easy access to that. Anyway, East Wind jacket, so as I say, nice cable, simple cable design, very oversized, could definitely work as an outer layer. I love the next project. The next project maybe, it's difficult to have a favourite in this because I've got several, so I won't say my favourite, but this is the Snowdrift shawl and it's absolutely gorgeous. Look how pretty that is. Again, very simple shape. It's got a beautiful garter border, and then again the main body of the shawl has this lovely texture and is striped. So the mohair is held double with another yarn. Again, I think it might be one of so it's a Viola Polworth and Alpaca 4-ply, so 4-ply yarn held double with the lace weight, and the contrast colour, the lace weight yarn, is used to bring in all of these beautiful colours. So there's a bit of a close-up which shows you the lovely colour transition. This to me is fairly reminiscent of a project that I knit a few years ago from Cath Fassett called the Earth Stripe Wrap. That was knit entirely in mohair, 2 strands of different colours held throughout, and it had these beautiful colour transitions. So yeah, I think that might be, it's one of my favourite projects to wear. It's so light and warm, so I think maybe this is one of the things, because it's reminiscent of that project that I know and love, is attracting me to this. The Earth Stripe Wrap is very plain stockinette project, so with the addition of this texture I just really like this, and I've got lots of leftovers from when I did knit my Earth Stripe Wrap, so this would be a great way to use up little bits and pieces in your stash. The next project in this book is called Snowshoe, and it's a pair of simple heavyweight socks, so 2 strands of fingering weight held together, and again some gorgeous photography. Imagine having beautiful sort of units like this around your house. Yeah, absolutely stunning, and the light in this picture is fantastic. So not too much to say there really. As I say, a simple sock. There are more socks actually at the back of the book. It's one of the last projects, and I really like them. Again, there's nothing fancy in the sock patterns here at all, but the thing I love about the patterns, the other sock patterns, it's called Favourite Sock Variations, and there's a picture of some single socks hanging around there. The thing I love is that hello. So sorry, yeah, another customer interruption. The patterns are just really lovely. It sort of reminds you that even in a simple sock you can bring in some fun by just swapping in some mini skeins and some leftovers. And I've knit a few scrappy socks, but they are really scrappy, like a few sort of rows in each colour. But I love it, sort of like the intentional scrappiness of these, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Just, yeah, really lovely. Again, as I say, nothing earth-shattering in terms of design, but just very beautifully presented and kind of thoughtfully done as well, which I really love. Back to the patterns. I'm not going to go through all of the patterns. There's a beautiful hat called Sky Hill, which comes in two different versions, a shorter sort of beanie style and then a longer version with a little knot. And there are some lovely mitts as well. There's also a pattern for making mitts and then knitting a liner to make them sort of doubly warm. The next sweater in the book, this is vying for one of my favourite projects in the book, and again it's super simple. It's called Barn. The colour is absolutely stunning, but I just love the really sort of simple design. I don't know how well this is going to show up with it in the light in the camera. So again, an oversized sweater. It just has this really nice sort of textured rib detail running down the sweater and sort of across the middle as well. Again, I'm not really going to be able to show you that. Maybe you can see it a little bit there. It's tricky to show you on my camera. I've just used the front-facing phone on my iPhone, nothing fancy. So I love that. I love everything about that. I love the colour and I love the simple design. Again, it's knit in DK weight yarn, and I have got some DK weight yarn in my stash that someone gave to me not so long ago. That's slightly different in tone to that, but I think might be an option. Can you see my mind ticking over? I want to cast on all the things. There's also a beautiful brioche shawl, which I absolutely love, called Full Moon. Again, simple one colour brioche, just simple and stunning, and you get these sort of moon details in that. I don't know how exciting that would be to knit, because obviously you're just repeating the same kind of pattern over and over again, but I think in terms of wearability and just pure beautifulness, it'll be worth the potential slog of going through that. So what else am I going to show you in this book? The soiree sweater is in here, which is a project that if you have followed Pom Pom for a little while, you'll have seen this. It was originally published in Pom Pom. It does say that at the front of the pattern that it has been tweaked, but I don't know exactly. I don't have my copy of Pom Pom with the soiree in, so I don't know exactly what has changed, but it just says soiree is back with a few updates. But yeah, as I say, I can't speak to exactly what might be different. The final project that I want to talk about, I have mixed feelings on this. There are two more projects in the book to quickly show you, both of which I have mixed feelings on. They're both beautiful. I am just not sure that they would be for me personally. So the first is a sweater vest called Winterberry, and I love wearing vest kind of tops. I've knit quite a few, not necessarily like true vests, but I've knit quite a few sort of really short sleeve tops now, which I love to layer over the top of a long sleeve t-shirt. So a short sleeve / vest is definitely sort of my style. This one has got a lot of texture though. So it's got these sort of what looks like, again I haven't looked at the pattern exactly, but it looks like some sort of moss stitch or variation down the sides, and then sort of cables, and then these bobbles. And it's the bobbles are really cute because they're, every now and then she's thrown in bobbles of a different sort of contrasting colour, which I think is a really fun detail. But I'm just not sure that I could get away with wearing this. Obviously, as I mentioned many times on my videos, I am a larger person and I just think this is too much texture. I am not afraid of wearing cables, wearing chunky knits, all the things that people say that larger people shouldn't do. I don't care about that stuff, but I just think this would be just too much. The 3 different textures for me, I just don't think would be flattering. When I was thinking about it, I thought, oh, could I sort of knit this with the texture, the cables, and then leave out the bobbles, but I'm not sure that a big sort of plain swathe with these 2 different textures would look right either, and it would be a shame to sort of lose the essence of the design. You know, I could make it completely plain with the cables, but I just, yeah, so I'm on the fence about that. However, never say never, and often with pom-pom publications I look through them first and I think, oh no, there's nothing in here for me, and then the more I revisit them, the more I come to love many of the designs. So yeah, I'm sitting here saying now that this design in particular wouldn't be for me, but you never know, in a few months time you might see me sporting one of these, yeah, at this point I just think maybe it's a touch too much different textures for me. And then the final garment again is beautiful but not for me. It's a long sort of tunic top, and I think it could be quite flattering. It's called Frost, and again it's knit from mohair. It's a very long top with these really nice, this photo's a little bit dark, it's got this really nice sort of side panel, which I think could be very flattering, with some sort of contrast details in the seams. So if I can find the picture that I'm looking for, here we go. That sort of shows you that sort of contrast carries all the way down the side and into that side panel, but it's quite a long garment, and I just don't think that sort of long style would suit me. I think on this lovely slender model, I think it fits beautifully. On me, I think it would just look like I've missed out a piece because I couldn't get something to fit. I don't know. And yeah, that sort of brings us to the end of the patterns. As I say, there's a few more, I haven't showed you them all, but they're all simple, beautiful, elegant. And then the very end of the book, there is some more beautiful photography, talking about some of the inspiration behind some of the yarns that Emily creates. So creating the colourways, and then as you flick through, there are more beautiful photos, and photos obviously of colour inspiration and the yarns that are dyed up, sort of coming from those. And then the book is finished off with that same sort of parchmenty, simple illustration at the end, parchmenty paging. So all round, I think this is a gorgeous book. Photography is stunning, patterns are beautiful, and although it is on the pricier side for a pattern book, when you consider that single patterns on Ravelry are often, particularly for garments, are often £6, £7, £8, £21 for a gorgeous publication, that even if you may only knit 1 or 2 projects from, you're going to have as a source of beautiful kind of coffee table inspiration. I could definitely see myself just, you know, picking this up and flicking through it, reading Emily's story and just being inspired by the photography and the colours of her beautiful yarn. So it's definitely one that I am happy to add to my collection. If you've got any thoughts on any of the designs that I've showed you, then I'd be happy to hear them below in the comments section. If you've enjoyed the review video, if you've been with me on the channel for a little while, you might remember my somewhat infamous now review of a Rowan publication. This review is probably not quite as funny as that one. So I apologise for anyone who was tuning in to listen in the hopes that I might be, you know, poking fun at some to some extent of the publication. There's just nothing to poke fun at. This is a beautiful book. But yeah, if you've got any thoughts or comments on the video, if you've enjoyed the book review, if you have any thoughts on the designs, I'd love to hear which designs you love, or not, as the case may be. Just let me know below. So I think that will be everything for the video today. If you have stuck with me until the end, I thank you so much for your time and attention. It's always lovely to spend a little bit of time with you all, and I appreciate anyone who does view the channel. I'm always happy to hear from people, and I do try and reply to all of the comments. I'm sure on occasion there are one or two that slip through, but we're not a super big channel, so I do try and respond to anyone who takes the time to contact me about the videos that they have seen. If you are interested in purchasing Knits About Winter, I do still have a couple of copies in stock. We don't have a website at the moment, but I am always happy to take mail orders. I can send anywhere in the world, and I am able to accept payments by PayPal, so please feel free to message me on the Facebook page, on Instagram, or by email, and our email is yarnandyarns@yahoo.com. I'd be happy to talk to you about sending out a copy of that beautiful publication to add to your library. I think that is everything that I have to say for this video. So until next time, I hope you get to enjoy some of the things that you love, and great big woolly hugs to you all. Bye for now.